Welcome to lecture on algebra and number theory. In this video we shall discuss ring structure, definition and examples. First let us see definition of a ring. Let R be a non-empty set with two binary operations denoted by plus and dot, where plus denotes addition and dot denotes multiplication. Then R comma plus comma dot is called a ring if for all a comma b comma c belonging to R, the following conditions are satisfied. R is an abelian group under addition, R is a semi-group under multiplication, then the distributive law of multiplication over addition holds, which is given by a dot b plus c is equal to a dot b plus a dot c, as well as b plus c dot a is equal to b dot a plus c dot a. If all these conditions hold, then R comma plus comma dot is called a ring. Note that the identity element for addition is denoted by Z. It is also called as zero element. We shall see some examples. Under ordinary addition and multiplication, this set of all integers, a set of all rational numbers, set of all real numbers and set of all complex numbers all follow the conditions for a ring and they are all a ring. In all of these rings, the additive identity Z is the integer 0. So you may see that Z is a subset of Q and Q is a subset of R and R is a subset of C, and in all these the additive identity is 0. And the additive inverse of each number x is minus x. We also use this notation for additive inverse. You may note that the following condition should be verified for a set with the operation plus and dot to be a ring. First one, closure for both the addition and multiplication, associativity law for both addition and multiplication, the existence of identity under addition alone, existence of inverse under addition alone, and commutativity law under addition, and distributive law of multiplication over addition. So these 5 conditions, closure, associativity, existence of identity, existence of inverse and commutative law for addition will prove that R is a abelian group under addition, and the first 2 conditions alone, that is closure and associativity alone under the multiplication operation, shows that R is a semi-group under multiplication. So totally we will have some 8 conditions to be verified for a ring. We shall see some other examples. Let M2 of Z denote the set of all 2 by 2 matrices with integer entries. In M2 of Z, 2 matrices are equal if their corresponding entries are equal in Z. So in matrix also we have defined addition and multiplication. In particular for M2 of Z, the addition and multiplication are defined as follows. 2 by 2 matrix, here A, B, C, D all belongs to the set Z, that is they are all integers, and when we add 2 matrices we add the corresponding entries only. First element A plus E, then second element will be B plus F, third element, that is second row, first element will be C plus G, and second row second element will be D plus H. And the multiplication is defined like that. You multiply the row and column and then you add those 2 values. So the addition of the 2 matrices A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H will be AE plus BG, that is first row with the first column, and then first row with the second column AF plus BH, and second row first column C into E plus D into G, and last element C into F plus D into H. So this one basic operations we would have read in lower classes. So under these operation we may see that M2 of Z is a ring where when you add any two integer, the result will be integer. Associativity holds under addition, and also when you multiply any two integers and add again, that will be an integer. So these two matrices when multiplied result in a matrix of M2 of Z only. And we may note that Z equal to 0 entry in all the and you may note that Z equal to 0 entered in all the places, that is the 4 places of matrix entered as 0 is the additive identity, and the additive inverse of matrix A B C D is nothing but minus A minus B minus C minus D. This also belongs to M2 of Z. So we also can verify that the distributive law holds for this multiplication under addition. So M2 of Z comma plus comma dot is a ring. We may note that matrix multiplication is not commutative. That is, you take any two matrix and multiply in the reverse order, those need not be equal. So multiplication need not be commutative in a ring. So for conditions of a ring, we see that multiplicative need not be commutative. So that's why we are having two distributive laws for rings. Next we shall see proper divisors of 0. If in a ring R comma plus comma dot there exist elements A comma B such that A is not a 0 element and B is not a 0 element, but their product is a 0 element. The product in the sense A into B, where this dot is defined in the ring R. Then A and B are said to be 0 divisors or proper divisors of 0. We shall see an example. Consider the multiplication of the matrices 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 and 2 1 2 1. So when you multiply these two, you get 0 only. So 1 into 2 plus minus 1 into 2. So 2 minus 2, that will be 0. Similarly, you can verify that all these elements will be 0. So here this element is a non-zero element. Non-zero in the sense it is not a 0 element. 0 element refers to the additive identity. This is not a 0 element, and the second one is also not a 0 element, but when you multiplied these two, you get a 0 element of the ring. Hence these two matrices are called the proper divisors of 0 or simply 0 divisors. Next, commutative ring. So you have seen that commutative law under multiplication need not hold in a ring. But suppose if it holds in certain ring, then that ring is called as a commutative ring. So let R comma plus comma dot be a ring. Then R is said to be a commutative ring if AB is equal to BA for all A comma B belonging to R. That is, the product here is ignored just because AB denotes A dot B only. So these rings Z comma plus comma dot, this R denotes a set of all real numbers R comma plus comma dot and C comma plus comma dot. These are ordinary addition and ordinary multiplication. These are all commutative rings, as the multiplication is generally commutative. Also you may see that integer modulo n under addition modulo n and multiplication modulo n is a commutative ring. Now we have seen matrix multiplication. So definitely matrix do not satisfy the commutative law under multiplication. Hence, these matrices of any order mn of z comma plus comma dot mn of c, if the entries are even complex number, then also multiplication is not commutative. These are all non-commutative rings. Next we shall see ring with unity. Consider a ring r comma plus comma dot. If an element u belonging to R is such that u is not equal to the 0 element z and au is equal to ua is equal to a for all a belonging to R, then we call u as a unity or multiplicative identity of R. That is, the additive identity is said to be z, and you take some other element, you take an element which is not an additive identity, and you see that when that element is operated to the left or to the right of any element, results in that element, that is, it has no effect on any element under multiplication, then this particular element u is said to be unity or multiplicative identity. The ring is called a ring with unity. As one is the multiplicative identity and one belongs to all these sets, z, r and c, these are all rings with unity 1. And m2 of z comma plus comma dot is also a ring with unity, since it has the multiplicative identity 1 0 0 1. Now we shall see an example where we have to verify whether a given set under the given addition operation and multiplication operation or is a ring with unity. Verify whether the set z always denotes, capital Z always denotes integers, set of all integers. Under the operations defined below is a ring with unity. The operations addition and multiplication are defined like this: x plus y is equal to x plus y minus 1. This plus and minus are all normal operations. This plus and minus are ordinary additions and the additive inverse. And x dot y is equal to x plus y minus xy. So to verify that a given set under the given operations is a ring, we have to verify those 8 basic conditions we have discussed already. Solution: given the set of integers with the operation x plus y and x dot y as given, we have written. First we shall verify the closure law. So closure law should be verified for both the operation addition and multiplication. When you add any two integers, the result is obviously an integer, and when it is multiplied with minus 1, as 1 is also an integer, the result will be an integer only. Similarly, when you add any two integer or multiply any two integer, the result is a integer. So this resultant will definitely be an integer. So these two operations, these newly defined operations addition and multiplication, are also closed for z. That is, the resulting elements will be integer, hence closure law holds. Next we shall verify the associativity law. First we shall verify associativity law for addition and then for multiplication. Now for associativity law you need 3 elements x, y, z from the set capital Z. This Z is generally not the 0 element, but any element we will write, So x plus y plus z is equal to x plus, by the definition this is y plus z minus 1, ordinary addition. That is, you can remember like this: x plus y is defined to be first element plus second element minus 1. So similarly we have written here y plus z minus 1. Now we are having 2 elements from z, and we have to do the operation plus, this plus. So you write the first element and then second element and then minus 1. So you have obtained x plus y plus z minus 1 minus 1. Now to prove the associativity law, we have to group it in some other way. But we know in integers, these addition follow commutativity as well as associativity. So we may rewrite like this: x plus y, bring this minus 1 or interchange these two, plus z to the right side and minus 1 to the front, so that you can group like this. So this is equal to x plus y plus z. So we see the associativity holds for addition. Similarly, for multiplication, by the definition, we can write y dot z to be y plus z minus yz. So now again you apply this operation dot, first element plus second element minus first element into second element. So we have written x plus y plus z minus yz minus x into y plus z minus yz. As distributive law holds for ordinary addition and multiplication, this can be rewritten as x plus y plus z minus yz minus xy minus xz plus x plus xyz. So again, to prove the associative law, you group together. Actually, you can find x dot y dot z and you can find that these two are equal, or you can follow this way. I group x and y together and then z together. So x plus y minus xy is x dot y plus z you are having, minus from these three terms you take z outside, so that you will have x plus y minus xy into z. So this totally represents the x dot y dot z. So this is also x dot y. So x dot y plus z minus x dot y into z, that is nothing but x dot y dot z. So we have verified the associativity law for both addition and multiplication. Next we shall verify the existence of additive identity, that is identity for plus, that is the 0 element. For this we have to find an integer small z that satisfies the identity law under addition. So under addition, the identity law is like this: any element plus z is equal to that element plus. So a plus z equal to z plus a is equal to a for all a belonging to z. Such an integer we have to find. So by the definition of addition, this can be rewritten as z plus a minus 1 is equal to a. So a can be cancelled. Remaining you will have z minus 1 is equal to 0. So that z is equal to 1. So under this operation addition, z equal to 1 is the 0 element of this ring. Next we shall find the additive inverse. Suppose if b is the inverse of an integer a, then by the definition for an inverse, a plus b should be equal to b plus a should be equal to z. By this definition for addition, we can rewrite this as a plus b minus 1 is equal to, the additive identity is found to be 1, so you replace by 1. So a plus b minus 1 is equal to 1. We are going to find the value of b only, that is the inverse for a particular element. So keep b one side and bring all the terms to the right side. So b is equal to 2 minus a. Normal ordinary operations in by performing the ordinary operations in z, we find b is equal to 2 minus a. Of course 2 minus a is an integer, as 2 is an integer and a is an integer, 2 minus a is also an integer. And finally for addition, we shall verify the commutative law. X plus y is nothing but x plus y minus 1 by the definition in this sum, and this can be, as addition follows commutativity law, as ordinary addition follow commutative law, this can be replaced as y plus x minus 1, which is nothing but y plus x. So commutativity holds. Here a particular element 7 has the inverse minus 5. We can find using this formula 2 minus a, and we can verify that when you are adding 7 with its inverse, the result is the identity, that is additive identity 1. Next we shall verify the distributive law of multiplication over addition. So x dot y plus z should be equal to x dot y plus x dot z. So for that, first we shall find y plus z. So always we have to perform the operation within brackets. So this is equal to x dot. By the definition of addition, you can replace this by y plus z minus 1. Now you are having one element dot another element. So by the definition of dot, this can be written as x plus first element plus second element minus first element into second element. So x plus y plus z minus 1 minus x into y plus z minus 1. So after multiplying, we will have x plus y plus z minus 1. Here by the distribution law of ordinary multiplication over ordinary addition, we will have minus xy minus xz plus x. So similarly, to prove the distribution law, you group x and y together, so that you have x plus y minus xy, and then this x plus z minus xz together. In ordinary addition, we can group these things because of the commutative law and associativity law. So now these first three terms together can be replaced by x dot y, and the next three terms can be replaced by x dot z. You are having 1 minus 1 here. So totally this is nothing but x dot y plus x dot z. Similarly, we can prove that y plus z dot x is equal to y dot x plus z dot x. So distributive law holds. Hence z comma plus comma dot is a ring. But here we have to verify that this z contains a unity element. Unity is nothing but the multiplicative identity. Suppose u is the unity, then it satisfies the condition for a identity as a under multiplication. So for any element a belonging to capital Z, a dot u is equal to u dot a is equal to a. By the definition of dot, this can be replaced by a plus u minus au, that is equal to a. Cancelling a, you will have u minus au is equal to 0, as 0 is the ordinary additive identity. So remaining from these two, by the distribution law, you take u common out. So u into 1 minus a is equal to 0. This condition should be satisfied for all a, not only for a equal to 1. So here u should be equal to 0. So 0 is the multiplicative identity under this operation dot. Hence z comma plus comma dot is a ring with unity u equal to 0. Also you may note that x dot y is equal to y dot x. So the given set is a commutative ring with unity. Next we shall see some three important definitions: unit, integral domain and field. First one, unit. Already we have seen unity. Unity is the multiplicative identity, whereas unit refers to the multiplicative inverse. Let R be a ring with unity U if A belongs to R and there exists B belongs to R such that AB equal to BA equal to U, then B is called a multiplicative inverse of A and A is called a unit of R. Also B is also called as a unit of R. That is, if A and B are multiplicative inverses to each other, then A and B are called unit of R. Note that every element need not have a multiplicative inverse in a ring. But suppose if there are elements which have multiplicative inverse, they are said to be unit. Field. Let R be a commutative ring with unity. Then R is called a field if every non-zero element of R is a unit. So you take a non-zero element and found it to have multiplicative inverse, then R is a unit. That is, every non-zero element should have a multiplicative inverse. Note that R comma plus comma dot is a field if both R comma plus and R minus Z comma dot are abelian groups, and the distributive law of multiplication under addition holds in R. Next one, integral domain. Let R be a commutative ring with unity. Then R is called an integral domain if it has no proper divisors of 0. If there are no proper divisors of 0 in a commutative ring with unity, then that R is called a integral domain. We shall see some examples. Example for a field. Consider the set of integers modulo 5 under the operations addition modulo 5 and multiplication modulo 5. That is z5 comma plus comma dot. z5 comma plus is an abelian group. This already we have seen while we are discussing groups. Also z5 minus 0 comma dot is an abelian group. That is, when you leave this additive identity, the remaining elements form a abelian group under multiplication. And those Cayley table for addition and multiplication have been given here. We may verify from this that each non-zero element has a multiplicative inverse. 0 is the additive identity, 1 is the multiplicative identity, and in each row we see a number 1. So the multiplicative inverse exists for each element. Multiplicative inverse of 2 is 3, and the multiplicative inverse of 3 is 2. Multiplicative inverse of 4 is 4 itself. So also we may verify that a distributive law holds in this set also. So z5 comma plus comma dot is a field. We shall see an example for a ring that is neither a field nor an integral domain. Consider the set of integers modulo 6 under the operations addition modulo 6 and multiplication modulo 6. That is z6 comma plus comma dot. In last example you have seen z5, where 5 is a prime number, it satisfies the conditions. But let us verify that z6 has multiplicative inverse in all. Let us verify that z6 has multiplicative inverse for all elements. So the Cayley table for addition for z6 is given here, and for multiplication is given here. You may note that 1 is the multiplicative identity, that is the unit of this unity of this ring z6, and you find that other than this first row and first column, other entries are also having 0. So 2 into 3 is equal to 0. So 0 is the additive identity or 0 element of this ring. You are taking two non-zero elements 2 and 3 and obtained 0 as a result. 2 into 3 is 6. 6 is equal to 0 under class, under addition model, under modulo 6. Similarly, 3 into 2 is 0. and 3 into 4 is also 0. 3 into 4 12, 12 is equivalent to 0 under integer modulo 6. Similarly 4 into 3 is also equal to 0. So we have found that these three elements 2, 3 and 4 are non-zero elements, and they have when multiplied with some other elements results in 0, which means this set Z6 has proper divisors of 0, which implies that Z6 is not an integral domain. Similarly, we can verify from the table that 2 do not have a multiplicative inverse. As you see, 1 does not appear in this row, also in this row, also in this row. So 2, 3, 4, all these three elements do not have a multiplicative inverse. But it is a commutative ring with unity. Hence, it is not a field also. Two, 3, 4 are proper divisors of 0. Hence, it is not an integral domain. And 2, 3, 4 do not have a multiplicative inverse. Hence, they are not units. Hence, this Z6 comma plus comma dot is not a field.